Clouds. This was my first stimulus to learning. The adults around me were way too restrictive with their negative daily lives. Both my mom and dad owned businesses, and their constant worries were stifling. Clouds were my escape. Clouds were my first color television. Clouds instigated my imagination, and my soul flew in the unlimited sky. Clouds are magnificent. Clouds are beautiful. Clouds are God's perfect art form, among others. The first year that I can remember is 1951. That is the first year I can identify as a year to remember. It was the first year that I experienced a hurricane. The year I first received books as gifts. I have had a love affair with books ever since. As a child, barefoot and quite frequently without shirt, by choice. After all, my mom back then made shirts. They were called Elsa's shirts, and they were sold in upscale stores, but that's another tale. That's another story. Back in 1951, I would wander off to entertain myself. I would be alone with my imagination, which I later said was the greatest faculty of the mind. I stayed in constant awe with this amazingly beautiful place called Earth. Then, in 1951, I didn't know how big Earth really was, or how truly beautiful Earth really is. I would lay on my back in a distant land, a field somewhere really, and look at the clouds in the sky. And I would fly. My spirit would touch the sky. Mentally and spiritually, I would be gone away to distant lands, far, far away. My visions would be real. The ever-changing clouds would entertain and stimulate my imagination. I would lay on my back with my eyes gazing into the clouds, quite often with my gift of a book, golden books, I think they were called, golden books, hard covers with a wonderful world enclosed inside, stories that were inside the covers of a book. I would read about faraway lands and children elsewhere. For example, I would read about an airplane flying in the clouds. I would be 16 years old before I ever set foot inside an airplane. But it didn't matter. Through my imagination, I already had that experience. Just as, through my imagination, I visited so many countries and became friends with so many souls in these countries. You see, I have learned that visions become real when you make them so. You don't believe it? Ah, too bad. I'm not even sure if I even knew what a television was back then, and it didn't matter. My world was outdoors, inside, in and around nature. My mind was a universe beyond the clouds. Yesterday, as I videotaped these clouds, my soul soared, and my heart was filled with joy. Have you ever laid on your back in a field somewhere and pretend that you're a child again as you stared at the clouds? Ever escape your physical limitations and visit the stars beyond the clouds, the universe, the unlimited universe out there? No? Ever allowed your soul to join with the Creator in nature's church? No? Really? I highly recommend it. Be a child again. No one is watching. Sneak away somewhere, into a field somewhere, and exercise your imagination. Look into the sky. Look at the clouds. And for a few minutes meditate and see yourself as being one with the universe. I highly recommended. Highly recommended.